Welcome to another edition of the CS Podcast, where you can hear interviews with special guests such as
Dale Buchanan, Tom Waddle, Pierre Desir, Brent Berry, Ed Werder,
and many others.
Too big, too strong, too fast, too good.
So be sure to subscribe and tune in to the CS Podcast on YouTube at youtube.com/ChristianRE722.
Did you not get the memo?
That's www.youtube.com/ChristianRE722 for great interviews. Be sure to check out the CS Podcast.
You are ridiculous.
Welcome back to the CS Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Shanafel, and I'm now joined by 2015 NFL Draft prospect, offensive tackle out of the University of Nebraska-Kearney, Cole Manhart. I appreciate you taking some time to chat this evening, Cole. How's it going?
It's going great, Chris. Thanks for having me on the show.
Hey, the pleasure's all mine, so let's go ahead and get right to it. I kind of just want to start this interview off by asking you a pretty simple question, and that is, coming out of high school, why did you decide to attend Nebraska-Kearney and play Division II football for the Lopers?
I chose the University of Nebraska-Kearney. My father had passed away while I was in high school, and actually it was a good decision for me to go to the University of Nebraska-Kearney for my mom and me. And we felt that it was a good place for me to go after high school, and things just happened to work out that way.
Mm-hmm. You went on to redshirt your first year at UNK, and then in 2011, as a redshirt freshman, you were a reserve lineman. You were able to see some time on the field, mainly on the left side of the line. And then it was in 2012, as a sophomore, you became the team's starting left tackle, having to replace Stephen Gooden, who went on to play in the NFL. Can you just take us through your mindset at the time, having to replace one of the team's best players at one of the most important positions in football?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a great experience being able to play with Steve my redshirt freshman year. I got to learn a lot from him, learn a lot about technique. And then in 2012, I was able to take over the reins of that left tackle position. And I really owed that all to Steve. And, he taught me everything that he knew. He's a diligent, hard worker. And, it really carried over into that 2012 season when I took over. It was a great responsibility, but I felt like I was prepared for that.
You've been the team's starting left tackle ever since having to replace Gooden that 2012 season. And during your time at the University of Nebraska-Kearney, you weren't able to have a lot of team success, but you had a ton of individual success. I mean, you're a three-time All-American. You're the best Division II offensive tackle, arguably the best offensive lineman in all of Division II ball. How would you describe your overall experience at the University of Nebraska-Kearney playing for the Lopers?
I really had the opportunity of a lifetime to be able to go to the University of Nebraska-Kearney. It was really just a great opportunity for me to get the exposure early, rather than, if I had went to a larger school, I might have had to wait a little bit longer. But, I wouldn't change my experience at the University of Nebraska-Kearney for anything, really. I had the opportunity of a lifetime, made great friends there, had a great head coach, really taught me the game of football. He was also my O-line coach, and it taught me technique and everything that's made me successful today. And I wouldn't change a thing about going to UNK now.
Chris Shanafel talking with 2015 NFL Draft prospect, offensive tackle out of Nebraska-Kearney, Cole Manhart. And Cole, who would you say is the best or most impressive player you've had to play against throughout your entire college football career?
I've probably played against two really outstanding players. There's a lot more great players in D2 than a lot of people know, but the two best would probably be David Bass. He was a defensive end out of Missouri Western, and he graduated in 2012. He went on to play for the Oakland Raiders and the Chicago Bears. He's had some success in the NFL. And then most recently, I'd probably say Matt Longacre out of Northwest Missouri State. The guy's got a motor. He's just a technician when it comes to playing the defensive end spot. He'd probably be a tweener in the NFL because, he's 6'3", but coming off the edge, he's a great defensive end that I had to play against.
All right, sounds good. I'm actually very familiar with David Bass, of course. I'm out here in Chicago. Of course, I've been a Chicago Bears fan all my life. I've actually been able to speak with David Bass a few times. So, definitely a heck of a player right there. Definitely cannot go wrong with that. Over the last 4 years, what would you say is the biggest or most memorable play that you've been a part of?
We, as a team, we had some ups and downs moving into the MIAA conference, but one of the most memorable moments for me was my first season in MIAA. We went to a tough Central Missouri team. They've been an outstanding program in MIAA for the last decade and even longer. But being able to go down there and we upset it down there, and it was just a great experience for me and my teammates.
I mentioned you're a three-time All-American. There's no doubt you've had a lot of success throughout your time at the University of Nebraska-Kearney. What would you say is your biggest strength as an offensive tackle?
My biggest strength would probably be my run blocking. I've always, ever since I was little, I've always liked doing that. I've always felt like I was able to leverage guys, and I feel like that's probably my greatest strength is my run blocking, getting up on the second level even. But I feel like run blocking is my strength.
And how about a weakness? Is there anything you plan on working on to improve during the off season?
There's always something you can work on. Right now I'm working on my hands and pass protection. Guys in the NFL don't give you a big target to punch when you're an offensive tackle. So being able to work on that and always working on your hands, that's probably the thing I'm working on most right now.
All right, Cole, let's say there's an NFL general manager listening to this very interview. Why should he want offensive tackle Cole Manhart out of Nebraska-Kearney a part of his team?
He wants Cole Manhart to be his offensive tackle or anyone on his offensive line because I bring a blue-collar work ethic, grittiness every day. I'll show up on time, be the last one to leave, and I'm just going to show up and give you everything I have every day. And, I'm going to do whatever I can to make the team, be an impact player wherever I can be for the team, because that's what it's all about is helping the team win. And I think I'm the epitome of a team player.
Once again, 2015 NFL Draft prospect Cole Manhart out of Nebraska-Kearney joining the CS podcast. And Cole, just a few more questions for you, then I'll let you go. I really do appreciate your time. Now, I know a few weeks ago you participated in the NFLPA Bowl, a college all-star game in California, and you're actually a part of the winning team coached under Mike Martz. You guys won that game 17-0. Can you just tell us about that experience, being able to play against some of the top talent in the country under a former NFL coach? What was that week like for you?
It was a special week for me being able to go out there in California. We were out there in Long Beach staying at the hotel, being able to be in close quarters with Mike Martz, Priest Holmes, Andre Reed, all those guys, a lot of Hall of Famers. And it was just a really special time for me because I was getting exposed to a little bit bigger side of football than I'm used to at Division II. But to be around some of the top talent in college football and going out there and practicing and showing these guys that, I have the ability to play with them. Coming out of a small school, it was a great time for me, and I enjoyed every second of it.
And obviously the NFLPA Bowl, it's one of the bigger college all-star games out there. Is there any chance that you've been able to speak with any scouts or have any idea what they might be saying about you?
Yeah. Throughout that experience, you get to speak with scouts from pretty much every team that came through, and if they came through in the fall, we got to sit down with them again during the NFLPA Bowl, and they give you some good feedback for me. It's that they could see me as more of a guard potentially in the NFL, but a guy who they could put out a tackle or center in a pinch, wherever they need me. But as of right now, I'm getting that guard would probably be the best fit for me in the NFL.
So, Cole, obviously having to go the D2 route, you've been overlooked at one point or another throughout your college football career. Now you're being talked as one of the top sleepers entering the draft. When did you realize that the NFL may not only be a dream, but it could become a reality?
Probably my junior year of college, I started to have some success, and people in the D2 world really started picking up on who I was and coming out of Nebraska-Kearney. And, it started kind of materializing for me that there might be a life for me after college football in the NFL. And I think that, it excited me, and it made me even work harder, realizing that, this is an opportunity that not a lot of people get to have, but that it's standing right in front of me.
Well, Cole, final question for you. Of course, the NFL draft is just under 3 months away. It's actually going to be here in Chicago this year. Can you just tell us what's going on with you until then? I mean, are you training anywhere? Have you received an NFL Combine invite yet? Are you going to any regional combines? I mean, what's next for you?
Well, right now I'm actually out in California. I'm staying in Manhattan Beach working out with Exos out in L.A. With a couple other guys. Brett Hundley's out here, Devin Gardner. Guys like that, we're out here working out and just trying to get prepared for all the things that they're going to have me do on my pro day. I'm actually going to do my pro day at Lincoln, Nebraska. I just got that confirmed today, March 5th. So that's a little bit over a month away, so I'm just preparing for that right now. But I'm not going to be going to a combine, just hoping that I have actually knowing that I'm going to have a good performance at the pro day on March 5th.
Any specific numbers you want to reach at your pro day?
I'm gonna let people think about it, but I'm not gonna throw anything out there right now. But I know I'm gonna have a great pro day. It's gonna be very comparable to some of the good numbers that guys put up last year from offensive linemen. I have a couple set numbers in my head that I'm looking forward to reaching, but I'm not gonna jinx myself throwing them out there right now.
Hey, there you go. Well, I got to say, Cole, it's really been a pleasure speaking with you. I really do appreciate your time. Once again, congratulations on a very successful college football career at the University of Nebraska-Kearney, and I'm definitely wishing you nothing but the best throughout this process. You have anything else for us before I let you go?
No, I just want to say thank you again for having me on your show, and best of luck with everything in the future.
All right, thanks a lot, Cole. Right back at you. Take care, all right?